Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to the Aspie Bridge. I am so excited to continue this money talk because it is so important to all of us. And those of us who are on the spectrum do find ourselves in a pickle every so often with our money because we do have a hard time managing it. Many of us tend to be very impulsive and think afterward, and that's not the best thing to do. And my guest today, Miriam Angelo, is going to help us to understand how to counteract that, how to find different ways to get us out of this situation. But before I go there, with all the awesome Aspies that are out there in the world, such as Paul Micallef in Australia and Samantha Stein in the Netherlands, Sarah Hendricks in the UK, Temple Grandin here in the US, and so many other individuals that are here to tell you what autism is. You don't need another autistic woman telling you the traits. The purpose of the Aspie Bridge is to bring on all my guests who are bridge builders, and Miriam is one of them. She is my Aspie entrepreneur, which means that she's going to help all of you ladies who want to start a job, start a business. She's going to be in charge of helping you to know the proper sequence there. But let's keep going. With all the bridge builders that I have available to you, it's your turn to decide if you want to stay stuck in victimhood and being ashamed of your diagnosis, or approach me so I can connect you with one of my many bridge builders, those that came before Miriam, those that are coming after Miriam, so that you can go back into society confidently, knowing that you do have the tools, the resources. We didn't get those, but we do now, because I am making sure that I have bridge builder coaches here who are going to volunteer 2 or more hours, depending on their time availability. They are going to be here to tell you all about their zone of expertise. And they're also going to be the eyes in society. So if you do have a question, you can connect with them on Messenger and say, hey, I have a question about this I'm coming up against. And they'd be happy to help you. Now, I have a Facebook group page called the Aspie Bridge as well that I welcome you to come and join. That's where you can ask all of my guests questions as you see their podcasts. Now, you don't have to watch these podcasts in any order. You can go and watch the ones that are relevant to you, find the guest name, and then you can go under the guest and put in your question. And that way, they can help you right off. So without further ado, as I always say, here's Miriam Angelo, and she's going to tell you about herself, and then she's going to go in and help us understand how to take care of our debts, because that's not a comfortable feeling. Miriam, welcome.
Thank you, Suzanne, so much. And my name is Miriam Angelo, and I help entrepreneur, coaches, consultants, and sales professionals uncover hidden revenue, form strategic partnerships, enhance personal joy and freedom. But then not only that, also really have a business that they truly want, desire, And I'm passionate about empowering them to break free from debt and achieve consistent multi-source revenue streams. Okay. And I know today we're going to be talking about additional revenue. How can you start a business? And not only that, also, how can you get out of debt? Okay.
Very important.
Yes. So I know, obviously I'm not an Aspie or am I in the spectrum, but I was talking to Suzanne earlier and I mentioned that my little sister at the time, she had Down syndrome. Obviously, she passed away when she was 18 due to health reasons, but we always treated her just like anybody else. Disability or no disability, you want to sing, you want to dance, you want to do this, you want that. Obviously, there were limitations to her capabilities of what she could do, but we never stopped her. We always encouraged her, say, hey, she got punished like all the other kids, like, hey, you do this bad, don't do that, because sometimes that she would try to get away with stuff, but we always encourage her to do the things she loved doing, which she loved doing, singing and dancing. And even though part of her issues were health problems, like with her lungs, she couldn't really move like she wanted to. We encouraged her to do it anyway. And she not only her diagnosis was to live to be 5, 6 years old, she lived to be 18 years old. So Thank you. And with that said, so we always encourage her that disability or not, you're just like anybody else. The disability sometimes it could be physical, but sometimes the disability we give ourselves, whether or not you actually have a disability, sometimes us as human, we stop on what we're capable of because of the disabilities we limit ourselves to have, even if you're healthy. So even normal people do that all the time. I do that sometimes. Oh, I'm not disabled. I'm stopping myself because of this, or because I'm Hispanic, or I'm a woman, or I'm too short, or I'm too fat. Sometimes there's the limitations we give ourselves as humans. So even though you could have a disability, whether you're Aspie or you're in the spectrum, remember you're more than that, and you have every available resource just like anybody else. Okay.
Absolutely. Yeah, and what I try and do is I help my women understand that even though we are autistic, does not necessarily mean that we are disabled. And I know a lot of women out there may say, yeah, but it is a disability. Only if you allow it to be. It's what we call a limiting belief. If, as I say, Henry Ford said, if you think you are, you think you aren't, or if you think you can and you think you can't, you're right. If you think you have a disability, you're going to act as if you have a disability. I never let the word disability enter my soul. I never said I can't. I said I have a challenge with that particular skill, but I learn it. I find someone who can help me, like Miriam and some of the others. I don't let it stop me, which is why I've become the torchbearer. I've gone across this bridge to get the help because I didn't accept that I was going to be stuck on this side of the neurodivergent forest. And I don't want you to be stuck either. So, Miriam, please help us to come out of our debts because I would love to know.
Yeah, definitely, Suzanne. And basically, we're gonna be talking about how to unlock revenue streams. And part of it would be, exploring income sources, leveraging current skills and talents, find immediate income boost, implementing your revenue action plan, and not only that, also strategies for overcoming common obstacles. Okay. So
And
the first thing,
ladies, one moment, please. I know this is a lot. What I would love you to do is really listen because Miriam is going to put a PDF on our Facebook page. So I find what helps for me is if I really concentrate on what she's saying. Yeah, write down a note or two, but don't scribble down all the notes she's going to say because she will have a PDF. It's more important that you really follow what she's saying because you're going to get more out of it. You can go back and listen again and again if you want to add more notes. But I really recommend the first time, and this helps for me a lot. Listen to what she's saying, really take it in, and then it will sink in much further when you go back and you start to write your notes. Thank you for the interruption. I just wanted to let them know because I know a lot of ladies are going to be sitting there trying to scroll, and I know I miss things, and this is too important, far too important for them to miss something because I know you're you're a rock star at this, Miriam, and I want to help everyone. So I will give my signal if I need to talk, but go for it.
okay, yeah, no problem. And for those of you who don't know me, I speak very fast. So I literally have, slow down in my notes sometimes because I do tend to speak very fast, right? But right now we're going to be talking about exploring income sources. So a lot of you guys might do different things. I work with a lot of business owners, entrepreneurs, coaches, even sales professionals, and many of you might not be there or even be interested in doing that kind of work. But this applies really to everybody. When you think of exploring income sources, is think of it as whatever I speak about. Not now, don't think of it as does this apply to me, but how does it apply to me? So take some of those ideas and concepts in your own life and see how can I use this in my own life, right? In my own career or in my own business, if that's what you're working on. So for example, exploring income sources is think outside the box. How can you bring in additional income? Who do you know that can maybe potentially use you as a different source of bringing in additional income? Who can you partner with? Now, for example, like if I work with coaches, it could be like, hey, do one-on-one coaching or do group coaching or do workshops, right? Now, if you, let's say you work for a company or a store, for example, let's say you work in retail, then maybe take the knowledge that you have from there and you can become an expert in a specialty that you have. Now, this embodies additional expansion of knowing your skills and talents. What are you good at? And try and leverage those things that you're good at to find different sources of income. So it could be you partner up with somebody to help somebody else's, with their business, or maybe you do, just talk to other people and say, hey, network and see how can I help you help me. So think
May
outside
I?
the box of how you can help others.
Yeah, like if you're a crafter and you have some pottery and you know someone that wants to put on a workshop, maybe you can put some of your pottery at the workshop to decorate their stage. And then someone can say, where did you get that beautiful pottery? That's a source of income. That can be something that is what Miriam's talking about is, let's say you are a floral designer and you go up to someone who puts on stage presentations and say, I'd love to do your floral arrangement for your stage presentation. That's what Miriam is talking about. Go ahead, Miriam.
Yeah, exactly. And making the right deals, right? You want to be able to the deals that would help you generate additional income. So look outside the box and how can you make a win-win deals? Whether you sell jewelry, partner up with somebody to, hey, I have a friend who sells jewelry, have the person, promote you, and then you give them, hey, promote me. And, you heard of like Tupperware parties back in a long time ago. What about jewelry party?
Right.
Yeah, exactly. So if you have actual items, maybe you have items or like jewelry that you make, or maybe clothing, or maybe, I mean, I can think of a whole bunch of other crafts that you could make. Go to boutique shops, small towns that you could go to boutique shops, say, hey, can I put my items here for sale? And then what if you go to different little towns and put your items there? So that way you don't have to depend just on eBay or Etsy or whatever. Think outside the box. How can you expand and how can others help you and how can you help others help you?
Yeah, it's a cooperation, a collaboration. And for us ladies, sometimes we need to get out of our own way of being competitive. And I know many of us tend to be like, oh no, they're not going to want it. They're not going to want my stuff. But if you don't ask, you're right. They're not going to because they're not going to approach you all the time. You have to be the one who's strong enough to say, hey, I know the store that might like my stuff. Maybe I should go talk to them. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. A lot of us are good at questions. All right, keep going, Miriam.
Yeah, exactly. And when you think about it, the next thing is leveraging current skills and talents, right? To maximize your existing skills and talents, start by identifying what you're best at and what makes you unique. Recognize these abilities and think about how they can generate income. Now you want to match your top skills to the market's needs, and create services and products based on those skills. By focusing on what you already excel at, you can efficiently develop offerings that resonate with your target audience and drive revenue. So think about past skills not being used today. Where can you make money right away? So for example, I've worked in the medical field for 26 or actually 28 plus years. And a lot of it, I do a lot of, business management, I train, coach, and mentor, over 200 people where I worked at. We worked over 700 plus facilities. I literally train our our COOs for the company for them. I did their job and I trained them how to do their job. And I realized, what am I really good at? You know what? I'm really good in business management. So the focus on, hey, this is what I'm good at. I like Excel spreadsheets. I like, PDF formats. I like, PowerPoint presentations because that's what I'm good at. Once I hone on what I'm good at, my business skyrocket because I'm taking what I'm good at to help others be good at what they're good at. Give you an example. I know somebody who does jewelry in their coach household, but How can they bring in money now? They have a lot of jewelry they haven't sold. Now, guess what? They're doing lives. They're starting to talk to boutique places to put their jewelry at, and just things like that. They're starting to have money come in when before it was just a hobby. Now it's starting to turn into an actual entrepreneur business. So think of
Hmm.
what it is that you're good at, or what have others tell you that you're really good at this, and really focus on that. Especially if you love it, focus on that.
Yeah, my focus is I'm very creative, very visually. So I'll make books and workbooks and PowerPoints for people because that's just a glorified scrapbook. So I'll say to people, "Oh, you're having trouble with PowerPoints? I can take care of it. Just give me your information." And that's one way that I can make some money. That's taking a skill I already possess. I'm not learning anything. I already have it. And that's what Miriam's saying is look at what's inside of you already. See where your heart is, see where your passion is. And I know a lot of you Aspies have passion because we're very good at being very focused on one thing at a time. So that's what Miriam's talking about. Discover what's already inside of you. Go ahead, Miriam. Next one.
Yeah, exactly, Suzanne. Thanks so much. The next thing is obviously immediate income boost. Now, what does that even mean? It means that maybe you're already selling things, either services or products. And to quickly increase your cash flow, try strategies like limited time offers. Promote special deals available for a short period of to encourage quick purchases. Another thing is bundling services. Combine, several of your services into a package that offers more value, making it attractive for clients to spend more. Another thing you could also do are flash sales. Run short-term promotions with significant discounts to quickly drive sales and boost revenue. So let's say, for example, you sell products and you do a Facebook Live. Say, hey, if you guys buy today that I'm doing live, invite others, you get 20%. Or say, hey, if you refer somebody, you get a free item of worth of this amount of money. Encourage others to refer to you that way also, right? Now, how can you generate income right now? Think of, for example, collectibles, items in your home, valuables, things you can sell. Now, you're like, well, a yard sale, but you know what? Maybe you have something that's a collectible item, something that you kept there. And if you have a credit card that needs to get paid, guess what? You have stuff in your home. I believe me, I collect a lot of crystals. I've taken crystals and sold them, for slightly more than what I paid for, or even what I paid for. But guess what? I had money flowing in. You want to keep continuous flowing. Don't think like, oh my God, I have no money. I'm kind of stuck. Just get up and do something. Ask somebody, say, hey, I got this. Would you like to buy it? Post it on eBay. I know for years ago when the kids were little, I have 3 kids, by the way. They're 20, 15, and 14 now. But when the oldest one was little, he's 20 now. When he was about 1 year old, I started selling on eBay. And guess what? I was profiting after buying items. I was profiting about about 1,200 to about 2,500 a month. This is back in 2004, 2005. So, and that was me working full time. So you too can do it. Do it. That's something simple. And I literally went to yard sales to buy clothing to sell to make extra money. So think outside the box. What can you do from where you are with what you have to make extra income, whether it's selling something you already have or doing services or doing something for somebody else to have the flow of extra income. So you want to have immediate income boost.
Yeah, it works because just last week I had up a buggy bench, an old fashioned buggy bench on my Facebook marketplace, and I had it marked at $300 because that's what my parents had bought it for. I sold it for $200. That was 20 years after it was bought. That was a great way. Look around your house. That's an excellent way to do it, Miriam. I love that. Now, I do have a housemate that will go around and buy different things, and she hasn't been quite successful. She needs you too, Miriam. She needs to know how to do it, but she does that. That's her specialty is looking around at yard sales, and she'll buy things, and she can sometimes sell them at a higher rate to get her money, and she's been doing pretty well. I think she can learn even more from you, but go ahead. Thank you. I
Yeah.
just wanted to add in that it does work.
Oh, yes, definitely. And sometimes when you're not familiar with what to sell, like me, I really don't know like high name, brands of clothing, because that was what I would sell clothing, especially men's and kids clothing that would sell more than women's clothing because women had a lot of clothing. But one thing is do research. It would take a little bit extra time to find out about brands and look like, for example, eBay, see how much something sold for. So that was an easy way to find that out. For example, if you have items to sell, so, I mean, there's a lot nowadays. There's a lot more than 20 years ago. Now there's Etsy and what's it called? Poshmark.
Oh
You
yeah,
can,
Poshmark. Yeah,
yeah,
exactly. Thread up. You can get a bunch of clothes together that don't fit anymore. There's out of style, throw them into a green bag for thread up, send them in, and yeah, you can either trade for your own needs or get money for it. Go
yeah,
ahead.
exactly. Yeah, exactly. So I mean, there's different ways you can sell. Even just posting I know there's like Nextdoor app, Facebook Marketplace. There's a lot of places. Just do where can I sell items? Now if you have jewelry, for example, for those of you who are divorced, guess what? If you have your jewelry from your like wedding bands and stuff, sell those.
Mhm.
I had mine, for example, recently. And right now I'm in the market for selling them because guess what? They were like, from 20 something plus years ago. So, if you have jewelry that you're not using and they're worth money, sell them as well. Make extra income just to kind of help you get going, and just to bring additional income and help you out, you know.
Yeah, that's the big thing. I even it's interesting. You were talking earlier about some of the different things like Pamper Chef and everything. And I just said, you know what? I'm gonna just put up Avon books. Yeah, Avon from a long time ago. And a lot of people are like, they still sell Avon? Well, Avon has really revamped their whole mission of being after the natural woman. And now they've gone more into some of the housewares and the clothing and the body wear. I mean, we all need shampoo, things like that. Then they get into the CBD products, which a lot of people are into now, a lot of the animal products. So, it's like, yeah, it's gonna take a little effort. It's not gonna be easy. We're not saying it's a quick fix, and we don't want you going after the quick fix items that are online saying just stuff some envelopes and you'll make money. Miriam, would you mind taking a moment or two to help my ladies understand what's bona fide versus what may get them more in trouble?
Yeah, I would say whenever you see like, get rich quick schemes, just it all goes to your intuition. Does it feel right? Does it feel too good to be true? Right? A lot of those times, I mean, and then also ask others, do you know somebody who's doing that? Have you
Mhm.
seen changes and results in them? You don't want to go blindly to somebody and spend money when you don't know anybody who's doing it. But if you know others and you kind of do like me, I like to do research, even when I go on a vacation, is this right Airbnb for me to stay at, or is this the right hotel? But that's me. You want to go, don't go blindly when you do something, do your research and find out if this is for you. And no, everything takes work, right? But the trick is persistence. For example, let's say you want to sell Avon, Mary Kay, or I think it's Pampered Chef, where the stuff for the kitchen. Whatever you do, it takes persistence. Just don't quit. Oh, I didn't make no sales in 2 months. And what did you do that you haven't done lately? Did you contact, let's say, did you contact 5 people a day? It all has to do with communication. So, for example, let's say you do sales of a product. If you don't do lives, if you don't contact people, if you don't invite people to your events, or hey, I have this event to sell this product, and you just sit there and hope people come, it's not gonna happen. Take action, invite people, and if they can make it, okay, you can make it work. Can you invite others? Can you post it on your Facebook group, or do you have anybody you can invite, or you have somebody coming to your event? Then ask him, hey, can you bring a guest?
Mm-hmm.
So think of it all has to do with people, communication, people, and also you have the ability to invite others, just network and communicate with others. Whoever's gonna be for you, whoever the client is going to be attracted to you, they're going to come because there's somebody for everybody, right? Some people might be like, oh my God, Miriam is wonderful. I love her. She has great information. And others like, oh my God, I can't stand Miriam. She speaks too fast. She's really annoying. She's really like, because sometimes I'm kind of like, come on, you can do it, right? And some people might think that come too strong. So there are people for you who align with your mission, who align with your values, who align with your product and services, and just be yourself, and those people will come to you. But you have to do the action step. Invite others to get to know you and get to know your services and products. Hope that makes sense.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, after all, look at what I'm doing now. I'm here on YouTube, and I'm doing that. And I know, ladies, a lot of you are like, I don't have any friends. Well, if you're gonna stay stuck, you're not gonna have the friends. You're right. You're not. If you stay to yourself and say, I can't do that, again, that's a mindset. That's not a, you can do this. One of my very early clients, it was interesting. I have a quick story for you. One of my early clients, she said to me, I saw some of her pottery that she put out onto my Facebook page. And I said, you really should start selling that. Oh no, I can't do that. You know who has her pottery all over Facebook now? And just going out and saying, I love it. You know what that feels like to her? Now she has her pottery everywhere, and I'm so proud of her because she just needs that little bit of encouragement. Her products are gorgeous. So yeah, it definitely works. Ladies, you have to get out of your own way. And yes, you do have to find someone that you can speak to. I love Miriam because she gives me that kick in the butt to say, yeah, you can do it. And I love it. She does it in the most loving way. It's not like an aggressive way, like you were talking about, Miriam. It's like you're always so supportive of me. And I needed someone who's going to be like, all right, come on, you got to do this. And it's done so lovingly. You and I are in the success partners together. And I love that group because I get that encouragement that I was so missing in my life, that empowerment. Some people think that within the disabled person, oh, we got to go a little carefully here, we got to tread lightly. Well, that's the opposite. That doesn't work for me. I don't know if it works for any of you, but I had someone who said to me, so you're going to apply for disability insurance? I have skills. You have skills. We can do things. We're not having to rely on government aid to get our money. Unless you have other physical ailments. Don't get me wrong. Disclaimer here. I'm not trying to tell anyone to get off of any government aid if you truly need it for physical. I'm just saying, if it's a mentality, if it's a mindset of limiting disbeliefs that you can't go off and do what Miriam's suggesting, come to us. That's why I put Miriam in the position she's in on my team, to help you understand that no, we're not going to hold your hand. You do have to take the action steps, but we are here to encourage you with the most loving way. All right, Miriam, keep going.
Yeah.
Because I told you this before, how much I value success partners. But I think it's important for all of them to understand that, sometimes we don't want someone to hold our hands. Sometimes we want someone to give us a little bit of a nudge, like, you can do it. And if it's done with the right tone of voice and the right excitement, it kind of helps us get caught up in that excitement too. At least it does for me, and I hope it does for you. Keep going, Miriam.
Yeah, thank you, Suzanne. And and I can't say like I hold people's hand, but guess what? We go arm in arm, I can't do it, but arm in arm, and let's walk together to get you there. Now, I know sometimes I want to grab people by the hand and kind of pull, come on, behind me, but no, I don't. My goal is to walk side by side. Hey, let me walk you there. And as far as when you mentioned about the whole, you get government assistance for disabilities, there's nothing wrong with that. In fact, get every single thing is available for you. Take every acceptance, because guess what? By having a business and doing other stuff, that's additional income you can have and be more successful and have better time and money freedom. And you don't have to worry, as much of, hey, I owe this or I owe that. Believe me, take everything that is available for you. Any kind of help, financial, health, or whatever's available for you, take it. It's there for a
That
reason.
makes me feel better because I
Yes.
was wrestling with my own core values of not wanting to take it because I felt like it was a cop out. I am so glad you're saying that for all of us because even I was feeling a little bit like, oh, I'm uncomfortable, but thank you. That helps me.
Yeah, and that's like a limiting belief that I had in my own family. For example, me having a little sister who had Down syndrome, my parents, growing up in, Mexico, coming to the US, they were like, oh no, we don't want to set acceptance. We're like, we can do it on our own. Finally, they accepted from my little sister. She was about 10, 12 years old.
Mhm.
Then they would get a little bit of help. Now, for me, I was like, at first, be like, oh, I'm not gonna, even we struggle. We're not gonna take food stamps. We're not gonna take this or that. We never did. We still manage. But one thing I noticed now with my mentality is just that old limiting belief that, oh no, we can do it on our own. We don't need help. But if the help is there, take it. It's there for a reason to help you guys make your life easier. Don't be proud to accept the help. I know sometimes, I'm doing well, but sometimes we have a friend of my kid's grandma who takes food from her that she gets from the food, what's it called, food donation. And every once in a while, she'll bring a box to us. But I say, I'm okay, we don't need it, we can afford food. No, I accepted, for her thinking for us, hey, I brought you this box. Even though, yes, I can go buy food, we still accept it because you want to accept people giving you help or even the stuff that comes to you, because guess what? You accept it. If you deny it, then maybe the universe trying to give you something, and by you denying it, you're blocking it. That's a whole different concept of abundance and acceptance of abundance. So whether it's government help or somebody else helping you, hey, let me give you a bag of groceries. Or hey, you know what? Here's $10 to help you out. You're like, oh no, I'm okay. You want to love money. You want to love what money helps you accomplish. What happens? You're doing so good, you can help other people like you.
Wow, that's huge. Let me tell you, because I was feeling so, for me, I was feeling like it was this or that. And I wasn't seeing it as a not blocking my own abundance. I was seeing it as a um because I was willing to take it. I mean, I even had a hard time accepting my own family's help because I was like feeling like it was a negative money. I did eventually turn around and say, well, this is an inheritance. So it made me feel a little bit better. But yeah, I had a hard time with that. So thank you. What else can you share with us, Miriam?
Yes, the next thing is going to be about implementing your revenue action plan, because you want to get out of debt and you want to pay off your credit cards or just be able to really afford groceries, afford your house payment, your rent, utilities. Believe me, we've all struggled to that, right? And one of the things is definitely number one is set clear income goals. You have to define specific, measurable revenue targets you want to achieve within a set time frame. For example, you can say, hey, you know what? I want to make, let's say you sell products, jewelry or whatever, pottery, clothing. Say, hey, you know what? My goal is to make, let's say, for example, $1,000 extra a month selling this. And I want to be able to accomplish this within 2 months period. Right? Now, you also want to ensure your goals are realistic and align with your overall business vision and purpose. You don't want to say, hey, I want to make $100,000 in a month in the next 2 months. Like, what action steps are you doing to really accomplish that? You want to be able to set realistic, but then also align with your overall business vision and purpose. So let's say you sell clothing on eBay or wherever, for example, and say, hey, you know what? My goal is to make $2,000 a month selling this. Right? You want to be able to set realistic goals, set also a time frame, and then what can you do from where you are with what you have to get there? How many items you gotta sell?
Yeah.
Right? Like how many items you gotta sell? If you have a service, hey, I do massage, for example, for a living, and I want to make $1,000 extra a month. Well, how many people do you gotta massage? How many people you gotta contact to really get there? Maybe who knows somebody? Maybe throw a massage party. Say, hey, I'm gonna throw a party. People who come to it will get a certificate to get my massages. Or hey, I do hair. I color hair, or I'm a hairstylist. and we're doing a party of, and I'll talk about how you can design your hair. Think outside the box. If for example, you love shopping, become a shopping expert for somebody else and help them do their shopping, whether it's grocery. I mean, I know we all love shopping, but maybe you're really good at shopping for clothing.
Yeah, and you know what? That's interesting because we were talking last week about retail therapy. Well, maybe you can turn that retail therapy into shopping for someone else who doesn't have time. They're time starved. They need the outfit. You need the retail therapy. Put them together. Now you're going out and you're doing a service while you're feeding your own need for shopping, and you don't want to get yourself in trouble, but you like the idea of going up to the cashier and buying something. Well, imagine if that's for someone else. And this is now a business for you. I love that idea. That really
Exactly. Remember skills and talents. What are your skills and talents? Okay, the next thing is identify top revenue opportunities. So assess your current skills, talents, and market demand to find the best opportunities for generating income. Remember, think outside the box. Consider different income sources. For example, let's say one-on-one coaching or doing workshops, or like Suzanne just mentioned, hey, I love shopping and I need to quit spending money. How about you become a shopper for somebody else? Prioritize opportunities that have the highest potential for quick, substantial revenue. What does that mean? If, for example, you're doing a whole bunch of things, but 20% of the things you're doing is creating 80% of your income, focus on that. And then let's say you're doing 100% of work, but 20% brings you 80% of the income. And then you have 80% of the stuff you're doing, it's only bringing you 20. Don't waste your time on that. Focus on the 20 that's going to bring you more money. Imagine if the 20 is bringing you 80% of your income. What happens if you would focus 40% of the time on that? That brought you 80% of the income. Guess what? That would even expand even more. Focus on what's bringing you the most amount of value, right? And not only that, develop actionable steps. Create detailed step-by-step plan outlining the action step needed to achieve your income goals. Break down each goal into smaller, manageable tasks with clear deadlines. And if you need to assign responsibilities, maybe to people you can work with, of things, hey, I need help with this, right? That maybe knows a plan. And then also include strategies like, limited time offers, bundling services, or doing flash sales to boost immediate, cash flow. And not only that, regularly monitor your progress and adjust the plan to stay on track and achieve your goals. And by achieving those steps, you can systematically unlock new revenue streams and achieve your financial targets, leading to more stable and prosperous business, or even just getting additional income flow, right?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. And if you're not sure if you have a product of itself, I know that there are what is called market days that are showing up all over different communities. Try a few items. Don't make a boatload. Don't go out to the store and buy a ton of material or a ton of products. Make a few different styles and just say, take them with you to a market or fair and say, oh, you like this. I mean, my personally yours business, I purposely don't make a ton of product because everybody has a different idea of what they want. So I make maybe about for one item that's quick, I'll make 40 items. And I'll say, okay, if you like them, you can buy what I have here. But if you want something different, I'm happy to make it. Take your products to a market fair for about $60 to $80 if you need the electricity, but mostly $60 is a good range. See how you can make it. See which products are selling, which ones aren't. And I know, especially this time of year, which we're right now, if you're a viewer who's watching this in December, don't forget about those Christmas gift items. But most of the market day sales, they try and get between Easter and about November, so that they can really capitalize on getting all the people who want to either Christmas shop or whatever. And this is a great time to try out your products. If you don't want to invest in Etsy, which is more expensive to get into, try a market day and see how your products go. you do want to contact your Chamber of Commerce and make sure that that product is available. And if that one's not available, go to the next one. But these are ways to get into it. All right, Miriam, let's, I know we're getting close to the time. Let's really make sure that we get whatever else you need us to know, because this has been wonderful, very informative. Go ahead.
Yeah, and the last thing I was going to talk about was basically overcoming common obstacles, which we kind of did talk about, in the beginning, but really is stay flexible, be open to change and adapt your plans as needed. Flexibility helps you handle unexpected issues more easily. Also, keep communication open, talk regularly with people about your services. And not only that, for example, if you want to say, hey, you know what, I have a disability, or I have this, or I have that, let people know. Sometimes they don't know. They don't understand. Like me, I didn't know that Suzanne had anything wrong with her. I thought maybe she just had a speech impediment. I really didn't know. But what if you communicate? Oh, hey, this is me. Just because you have this issue or you have this problem, it's not all of you. It's only part of you. So you want to let people maybe communicate that, say, hey, I do this and I have this product and I have the services and this is what I'm working on. People will give you more grace when it comes to that. And also regularly review and adjust your plans. And not only that, your plans and services. If you notice that a product's not selling, well, modify it a little bit or go to a different place to sell it at, right? And you want to be able to, not only that, celebrate small wins. Hey, I sold one item. Woohoo, make a party about it. Announce it on Facebook. Hey, guess what? So and so bought this product. So and so joined my group. Let people know that there's people that you're helping others with your services, products, or whatever else you're doing. Even if you work at a retail place. Hey, what good thing happened today? Maybe you had a pleasant experience with a client or a customer. Talk about that, right? And lastly, the only thing I just want to do is just do a quick recap, which we came to unlocking revenue streams, and also getting out of debt is basically exploring income sources. Who can help you? Who knows somebody who knows somebody? What things can you do to bring additional income sources? I think additional income, leverage current skills and talents. You have expertise, you have talents, take advantage of those. Immediate income boost. Where can you sell something? What can you do? Who knows somebody? Or how can you bundle your services? Or how can you package what you sell with somebody else? Maybe somebody does makeup and you do hair. Combine your two, efforts and start advertising, let's say like a wedding venues or quinceañeras or sweet 16 parties. They're always for that. Even if you sell a little bit lower, say, hey, let me do your whole wedding, people that are going to come out in the wedding, and me and my, my makeup partner can help you, right? What if you have somebody who does clothing? Combine your expertise with people who do makeup and something else and do like a whole makeover on a person. Think outside the box.
May I add something in there? Yeah, exactly. I mean, you can even do it with yourself. Like I was gonna do my personally ordered crafts with my Avon. People already know Avon, and so they're getting to know my personally orders. Maybe you make something that you can put with Pampered Chef. Maybe you can make a bunch of brownies or advertise a baking service to go with Pampered Chef. You don't, if you're feeling uncomfortable about approaching someone, think about maybe a product that's already known and matching it with your asset. Now you have something that people know the name of. Oh, and by the way, try my brownies. You'll never try them again. Now you have something to lead in with, which is a known product. And you can say, by the way, you should really try my brownies because they're my specialty. Now you have something that's a double win for yourself. So they're either going to buy the Pampered Chef or they're going to buy your baked goods, but you win-win.
Yeah, exactly. And the last two things were implementing your revenue action plan. How much you want to make, be specific, send it out to the universe. Hey, you know what? I want $5,000 extra a month. And be consistent. Say, what can I do with what I have from where I am to get there? And obviously, strategies for overcoming common obstacles. You're more powerful than any circumstance, situation, or condition. And, it is possible. Limitations or not, you can do it.
Yes, you can.
Mhm.
You can. Oh, Miriam, this has been very educational. And it's what I liked about it a lot is the fact that not once do we feel like we were wallowing in our self-pity. We're taking our debt, which might be a little angst in us, and we're saying, I'm not going to sit there and think about it and think about it and think about it. No, what Miriam has come to help you with is saying, okay, this has happened. Now this is what we're going to do about it. And I love that because it is that nudge that we all need to say, okay, this is the solution. We're not going to sit in the limiting. We're going to go for the solution. Miriam, I want to say thank you so much for coming today. Now we have a double feature with Miriam. Next week, she's going to come back and she's going to help you with the other side, which is the mindset, getting rid of the negative self-talk and the negative inner feelings. And this is why Miriam is really very good because she can handle it from both sides. And that is a perfect way for us to finish up our Freedom From series. So this week was freedom from debt. Last week was freedom from emotional spending. Next week is freedom from negative self-talk. And that will take care of a wonderful month of July of releasing all the things that bind us in our lives, whether it be emotional or physical in the way of money. So I want to thank you all for coming today. And I hope you'll come back next week. I hope you watch this recording a number of times. There's so much good information in there and Miriam will put her PDF in the Facebook group page where everybody's welcome to join us so you can see what's coming up next. You'll see her beautiful picture and just go underneath and say, Miriam, I have a question about. And go for it because that's where she'll see it and she'll be able to get back to you quicker. Yes, you're welcome. And we encourage you to subscribe to this channel so you can see what's coming up next and have easy access to it. But sometimes we don't want to go onto a social platform like YouTube. It's a lot more comforting to go into a smaller group. And that's why I decided that rather than putting your comments here, I'd rather have you go to the guest bio and ask the question there because then you can feel unfiltered. You can feel like you can express yourself without 80,000 people seeing it. And I want to make sure that your needs are met more than we get the 80,000 comments on YouTube, because that's the best way that you're going to feel confident to go across this bridge. So I want to say thank you today. Thank you, Miriam, for being my guest. I'm looking forward to next week as well. Next week, you may want to bring a candle. Why is that, Miriam?
Yes, you will need a candle and have a piece of paper and pen ready, or a pencil, doesn't matter, for that recording, for that video.
Yes, we're not telling you anything more, but we do want you to have it in advance so that you're ready and you'll understand why when we get to next week. So you want to come back. So thank you very much for coming today. We enjoyed having you and we'll see you next week.
Thank you.
Thank you.